Welcome to the Nilon Report. My name is John Nilon, and I'm the Alumni Trustee on the California State University Board of Trustees. And the Nilon Report is a show intended to provide you, our viewers, who are fellow alums and friends of the CSU system, with an update on what took place at the Board of Trustee meeting on September 19th and 20th of 2017. We have three key takeaways that we'd like to talk about today, and one of which is educational policy. Another, which is an exciting story, is our Trustees Award for Outstanding Achievement, and a special guest, Tyree Boyd-Pates. So let's start with educational policy updates. Enrollment management is a key issue for us. We know that there are far too many otherwise eligible students not being able to enroll in our CSU system. So the campus has made presentations on how to manage their enrollment, how to link enrollment back to our master plan for higher education, how to strike a balanced priority between freshmen, transfers, and others, and how to implement the new law which requires the California State University to redirect students to campuses, from campuses that are impacted to campuses that may have openings for these students. So it's important to us to continue to explore these options because it is our mission to prepare our workforce for the state of California, and having a fully enrolled campus as well as engaging more students in enrollment is one of the ways to do just that. We also talked a little bit about student-athlete academic support. And the Alumni Council, of course, as you know, is focused on the graduation initiative. And what we're trying to do is ensure that our student athletes have graduation rates that are continually getting higher. And we're doing really good work. In fact, in most campuses and overall, our student athletes are actually graduating at rates that are higher than our average students, our regular non-athlete students. And what that means to me is that our programs are working, and it's also an opportunity to share these programs with the non-student athletes to engage them and improve their rate to graduation as well. One of the things I also like to talk about is research, scholarships, and creative activities. Sometimes people don't think that the Cal State system, California State University system, is engaged in those activities, but I'm here to tell you that's not the case. We are fully engaged. In fact, in 2015-16, the CSU system brought in $579 million in external funding for research. Our CSU faculty are major contributors to their own discipline. And over the last 5 years, faculty authored 33,000 journal publications, and many of those included student co-authors, which of course is really interesting for our students because I believe we engage our students much sooner in these sort of activities than other campuses. And of course, it's a major contributor to student success. Now let's shift gears to a creative activity. And these are our faculty artists who influence and grow in their own disciplines. In fact, one of our faculty members from California State University Long Beach developed an acrobatic show that will run at the Barrow Street Theater off Broadway in New York. Now this show was nominated for Best Show, Best Family Show, Best Performance in Family Show at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And of course the cast and crew are our own students, faculty, and alumni. Now I'd like to shift gears and talk a little bit about something that's very exciting, and I engage and encourage all of you viewers to go and watch the Board of Trustees meeting to see these outstanding awards for achievement. It is our signature scholarship program for the CSU Foundation. Each of the campuses has one trustee scholar, and it's nominated by the campus presidents. All 23 of these are compelling stories that are worth your time to watch. Of course, it's based on academic achievement, service to the community, and a demonstrated ability to persevere and engage in graduation activities for each and every one of these students. The Board of Trustees was able to meet each of the scholars, and each of these scholars received a $6,000 scholarship. Now, Alejandro Arias is a first-generation San Diego State graduate, or student, I should say, but he is the trustee emeritus Ollie C. Rossi Scholarship winner, and that's the highest scholarship that's given. It's a $12,000 scholarship. He has an incredible story, and again, if you get a chance to watch at calstate.edu/CSUTA, you'll hear his story, and as all of us were, you'll be engaged and actually touched by the things and his accomplishments overcoming so many barriers and challenges. Now, one of the things I really like to do is have our alumni be guest speakers. And today, for your show, we have an alumni guest speaker to the Board of Trustees, and he's Tyree Boyd Pates, as I mentioned earlier. He's a fellow California State University Bakersfield alum, and he is a former trustee scholar. Currently, he is the curator of the African American History and Culture at the California African American Museum. And earlier today, our own Alumni Council President, Manolo Morales, interviewed him. So let's take a look.
Tyree, thank you so much for being here today with us, speaking at the Board of Trustees. You shared a little bit with us about your current role at the California African American Museum as history curator and program manager. Can you tell us more about the recent exhibition you oversaw that commemorated the 25th anniversary of the LA riots?
Absolutely. Well, giving a 100-year perspective on the quality of life for African Americans in Los Angeles, I provided a historical overview for those who may not understand all of the episodes that contributed ultimately to the 1992 civil rebellion, some of which was the Zoot Suit riots in 1943 to the Watts Rebellion in 1965, all the way down to the LA riots, and all of the policies and procedures that undergirded much of the social inequity that Black communities and communities of color in Los Angeles had to contend with during that time. And so fortunately, the exhibition was a success, and we had a lot of community participation. And exhibitions like that and future ones will be my task at the California African American Museum.
Very, very good. Tell us about how your time as an undergraduate at Cal State Bakersfield prepared you for your graduate studies and now your career.
Absolutely. I don't think I would be the professional that I am without my time at Cal State Bakersfield. While I was at Cal State Bakersfield, I was the university outreach student ambassador. So I spent a lot of time at high schools and middle schools throughout the Bakersfield area, telling students how they too could one day be in the same position and pursuing their undergraduate career. And while I was there, I had a lot of success. I probably did over 500 campus-wide tours from K through all the way to the elderly. And it was really a great time, but it showed me that your education, whether it be your bachelor's to your graduate and post, that if the community hasn't benefited from what you've learned in the classroom, then it's a missed opportunity. So I bring that praxis with me wherever I go, and it now bleeds into the ways in which I curate exhibitions at the museum.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
You know, you mentioned at the Board of Trustees how you got to know the president of Cal State Bakersfield, Horace Mitchell. I'm wondering if you'll explain a little bit more about how that experience went down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Dr. Horace Mitchell, who is a wonderful man and an inspiration for me just in my career, has always served as a resource. But more so, he was always accessible at Cal State Bakersfield. And I remember many a times, whether we were on the soccer field, the baseball field, or just me giving the campus-wide tours, he would often just greet me and the students I was bringing them with. And so I think him and his accessibility to me all these years, and effectively his endorsement of me as a Board of Trustees scholar and award recipient definitely solidified our relationship. And as you can see, it's almost 10 years later, we are still shaking hands and very fond of one another.
That was very special to see.
Of course.
We're really excited that you're back in the CSU system. I understand you're in the Africana Studies Department at Cal State Dominguez Hills. So what brought you back to the classroom?
Yeah, so I was in the classroom at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and I spent a full year working at Cal State Dominguez Hill in a part-time capacity. And it was revolutionary in the sense that I was able to bring all of my academic expertise and give it back to the communities in which I lived in and live in, and working with the students and showing them the importance of ethnic studies, particularly Africana studies, was awe-inspiring when students who may not have been African American, primarily Chicano, were able to empathize with the plights of other marginalized communities and see themselves in them, and also to engage in robust discussions about how we can change our trajectory as a society was one of the most powerful moments as an instructor. And I know that I couldn't have done that had it not been for my education within the CSU system and ultimately wanting to give back to a CSU system that's poured so much into me.
Yeah, well, we're very happy that you're still connected.
Thank you.
One of the things as alumni that we constantly try and strive to do is keep our alumni connected with their campuses.
Of course,
And
of course.
obviously you are. What are some of the ways that have allowed you to stay connected with Cal State Bakersfield?
Well, Cal State Bakersfield recently honored me and gave me their CSU Rising Alumni Award. So I guess they think I'm doing pretty well.
I think they're right.
Which I'm very fortunate to have been a recipient of. But I think it's the desire first and foremost, right? Cal State Bakersfield, while I was on campus, gave me so much. Not only did they give me an education, they gave me a social network that I still glean and pull from today. And many of those mentors that I had then are still my mentors right now. And that guidance and also the inroads that they've made with future students always allows me a touch point to give back. And so first and foremost, it's the desire, then it's the execution, and then really it's the pipeline that you create for those students to one day occupy the position you now fulfill. And so I can gladly say that I'm still working with Black and brown students at these institutions, whether it be Cal State Bakersfield or CSU Dominguez Hills, or wanting to go to others, and seeking out these opportunities, because you never know who you actually can inspire, and that's the way that I lead my professional and in my life.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Tyree.
Sure.
I very much appreciate your time today, speaking to the Board of Trustees and here on video. We're very proud to have you as an alumni of the Cal State system. So thank you again.
I'm grateful to be here. Thank you very much.
Wasn't that great? Thank you to Tyree for sharing what an incredible story with us. I'd like to shift gears a little bit now and talk about President Horace Mitchell. He is the second longest tenured president in the California State University system. And last month he announced that he is going to retire at the end of this academic year. He has, as a CSU graduate from Bakersfield, he has made an incredible impact in our community, an incredible impact on the campus, and he will be sorely missed. And as a trustee, I've been asked to be the chair of the search committee to not replace President Mitchell, but to find somebody who will be the next president of our California State University at Bakersfield. So in closing, I'd like to remind you, you can connect with us at social media at Made in the CSU. And our next Board of Trustee meeting is November 7th and 8th. I look forward to seeing you then.